Everybody has an opinion.
No, I don't think so.
I employ that bloke for when gigs are going
To
bad.
look incredibly rock and roll.
How would you cook that?
Be more entertaining. I'm glad you like that. It's a little bit of weed.
Well, welcome. This is episode 35.
Your voice has changed, Lily.
Lily Geddes is my name.
Oh, I don't think so.
Well, it is for today.
Well, but before we introduce our guest,
Yes.
we should introduce you.
Well, we should do that.
Stig Wemyss.
Stig Wemyss, that's me. I'm filling in for Lily because she's not well.
She had a little bit of a
Pregnancy.
congestion. Pregnancy, yes. She
A
felt
little bit
pregnant.
of a pregnancy.
No, I don't think so.
No, did her waters break? What happened?
She might have dropped a glass of water, but I don't think her water has broken. No, she's just not feeling up for it. A little bit ill. It is winter, by the way.
Are you joking? Lily is always up for it. When is she not up for it? Anyway, I don't want to go into the Collingwood Football Club, but still.
Oh, my goodness. By the way, talking about Collingwood Football Club, I'm looking at Stig Wemyss' teeth at the moment, and he's missing a tooth, and he supports St Kilda. So take that back. I'm
True
a Collingwood
enough,
supporter,
true enough.
and you're the one missing a tooth.
I bit down on something hard, and I've got a what do you call it? A
crown?
A crown at the front of my
Right.
tooth. But they stick the crown to the actual knob of the original tooth, and I fractured it. So now I've got a hole where that used to be.
Well, that's okay. I've got a plate.
Oh,
Yes, I'm doing the whole.
Wait a moment.
What is this voice?
A voice. I know who this is. Welcome to episode 35 of This Week in Comedy. Ken Cantrill.
Thank you. Welcome.
Ken Cantrill is an Australian animation producer and the founder of Bigtoon Animation. After 6 years with Xentrix Studios, including as head of creative in Australia, he launched his own studio in 2026. He's the co-creator of the animation cricket series Snick and Willow and the creator of Peggy and Morry, the animated series. Please welcome everybody, Ken
Cantrill.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I've been looking at the guests. I think that you might be scraping the bottom of the barrel now, but
Oh, no, are you joking? This is the highlight. It's you and me, mate.
I was expecting that.
I think we could almost take over.
we could. I noticed
Lily
Morry
and
doesn't do much on the podcast, to be honest.
It doesn't do much around here. Are you fucking joking? You talk to his wife. Does nothing at home.
I wash the plates. So welcome, Ken, and just again to apologies to our audience who is expecting a lovely voice of Lily.
Yeah.
I will say that you're not a ring-in. You actually work in the same studios here, technically in the Mezzanine Studios when we're in the Rubber Chicken podcast studios.
Yeah.
But we are
We
neighbours.
cross over.
We cross over. So,
over.
and you're a big. Thank you very much for the great support for This Week in Comedy and all the great things that you say about us publicly. I hope. But back to you, Ken. Ken, welcome.
Thank you once again.
Now, Ken, I met you because your former company, Xentrix with an X, is essentially based in India. It's predominantly an Indian animation studio that works with some of the biggest animation companies in the world. We saw Marvel, this kind of company.
Yeah. They're essentially a service facility for Nickelodeon, Marvel, Paramount, like all the majors.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm a content creator, and they didn't have that in there. They don't have any, they got no IP in their library that they own.
Right.
So I sort of, approached them about bringing my IP across and developing it together, and then opened up Xentrix Studios Australia here about 6 years ago.
Yep.
So I thought that this year was, time for me, and brought my IP back to Bigtoon Animation because they didn't actually own any of the IP. I owned it all.
Yeah, great.
And I just kind of, I was at the stage where I didn't want to continue to build someone else's brand. And I, at 57, it was time to build my own brand, and we've got some incredibly strong IP.
Yep.
So, selfishly, my business partner, Tim, I think you've met Tim.
Yes, I have.
Yep. Tim and I decided to break away from Xentrix and start Bigtoon.
Bigtoons.
Oh, were you met in India? You were both in India at the same time?
No,
is that right?
I had a little stint working for the Australia-India Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
Helping build their branding. In fact, doing podcasting was actually one of the main things that I did for the AICC. But I met with Ken, and at the time you were back and forth to India, and you hadn't yet broken away with Tim, and then.
Oh, I'm still with Tim. Yeah. So it's,
Tim, you had broken away from Xentrix.
Well, we just thought there was a natural correlation between what the AICC does, and Snick and Willow, considering that there was a massive big Indian component of Snick and Willow.
Yeah,
so.
huge.
Firstly, it's a borrowed terms from the game of cricket.
Well, Snick is like when you edge the ball and it goes to the slips or goes to the wicketkeeper. So
And Willow, of course, is what the
Willow
bats
is-
are made of.
Correct. And she's English, right? Well, she has an English background, but she's an Australian, but she's moved from England to Australia. So Willow made perfect sense. And I actually came up with the idea when I had my 50th birthday in Delhi.
Yep.
So I went into a spiral of depression. Went, shit, I'm 50. What do I do? And a good friend of mine, but looking back now, it's probably not the
Midlife
most
crisis.
Yeah, but
Most people go and buy a sports car or get a
Yeah, I
girlfriend
just
or
went to
something.
Delhi. Yeah, ate butter chicken.
Nice.
Yeah, so a good friend of mine ran FedEx all of Asia, and he just said, "Come over, we'll have a drink, and we'll eat butter chicken." And we did.
Yep.
And then driving through the streets, I was actually running a golf show at the time called Sandy Birdie.
Oh, great. Of course.
Yeah, what a surprise, eh?
Sticks, Willow,
Where does
Shandy
that come
Birdie.
from?
Yeah, don't worry. There's plenty more. There's Smash and Ace for tennis coming. I know, the creativity just never ends.
What have you got for snooker?
Oh, well, I don't know. I think they used to said
Big and smalls,
I think you said
probably.
one of your podcasts that you were border on racism.
The
so I
pink
better
or
not
the
do that.
brown?
Oh, I don't want to go there, man. Well, that's where
Sorry.
that's where I was
Dude, I see, I'm the wrong person for this.
no, well, you're 2 minutes in, so I could.
The kids won't get it. All right, back to you, Ken.
Well, I was thinking black and white, but anyway, I won't
Yeah.
go there. I just picked up the golf show and said, I'm not doing golf anymore. I'm doing cricket.
Yeah.
Because obviously, it's actually we had a podcast the other day with Brett Sanderhazen, and we all get the impression that cricket is religion over there.
Oh, yes.
And he corrected us very quickly. He said it's not religion, it's life.
Yes, of course.
So it's bigger than a religion.
Yes.
So
I mean, when India lose, like they're ropeable, aren't they? The fans.
look,
Like,
it's everything.
Yeah.
Because it's the tickets. The people who can get to the game. It's rich and poor. So it's that's their one thing that they hang on all week is their the cricket and their matches. And if they do lose, I mean, they're not like France. They won't burn the city down, but they'll definitely be upset for.
I actually wonder how a sport can get to that level. I guess we're passionate here in Australia about our football, especially in Melbourne with AFL.
Yeah.
But not to the point that the Indians are about cricket. So,
Yeah, it's funny. Well, I was speaking about this with a colleague of mine. I think because Australia is so multicultural, we've got so many different types of sports and so many different types of.
it's diluted.
It's diluted, right?
Right, yes, of course.
It's like we can't. That's why we can't find someone we like in the government. But when you've got, how many 2 billion people in India, it only takes one sport.
Yeah.
They're actually quite big in soccer as well, but obviously
Yeah,
not as big
okay.
as cricket. But it was just crazy. There was like every single ground was like overlapped like the Olympic rings. So if I was fielding in mid-wicket, I was actually talking to the guy fielding in cover.
No, from a different game.
Yeah, because a different game. Yeah. Yeah. So, they need to squash as many many grounds in as possible. So, potentially, you could be bowling to a mid-wicket person. So it was, and they use a rubber ball. So every time it gets belted, it goes like 3 kilometres.
Yeah, right.
So they just got to run after it. But I took some great photos while I was there, and I came back and went, "Wow, this is an incredibly good opportunity to tell a story." And if we can bring a TV show, and look, cricket's never been done. I mean, I know that Virat Kohli did a show called Super V, which didn't kind of hit the mark, but no real cricket show, 3D cricket show has been done. So I thought, wow, hell, this is untapped.
Opportunity. See, I like that. An opportunity.
So I want to step in because the listeners thinking to themselves, I've just downloaded This Week in Comedy.
And who we are talking about?
It's a sports show. And last week we had, or 2 weeks ago, we had Sarah Marie Cameron, who's a host on radio for football and hockey and American football. So, Ken, I just want to bring it back to the topic. Snick and Willow is essentially it's a comedy, a kids' comedy. All kids' cartoons are comedy, aren't they, by default?
Well, look, if there's no humour in kids' animation, you'll lose them in 5 minutes.
That's right.
I mean, we grew up with, Daffy Duck and complete violence.
Yeah, Mighty Mouse was my big one.
Yeah, Mighty Mouse
Little
was
Elvis
great.
Jones and the Truck Stoppers I always loved.
There was. I know some of this tape was just showboating, but you might have had a small little gig in that.
I was him. I used to say to people, I am
Exactly.
him. I am him.
You're still him. Well, it's good to see you not hanging on to the past.
I've got nothing else now that my tooth's gone. I haven't got the looks.
No, well, you haven't got the look. You got face of radio, obviously,
or
or
podcasting.
So look, it has to have humour.
Yes.
Yeah, it definitely has. Look, we wrote a couple of scripts, and we did a 3-minute pilot. Sorry, 11-minute pilot. And looking back on that, I missed the mark. So it was a $300,000 mistake as opposed to a $3.5 million mistake. So
Yep.
That's good, though. I'll tell you what, brave to look at your work after spending that money and spending that time and going, this is shit. Well, not
look, it was 90% there.
Yeah.
It was 10% horrific.
okay.
Horrific.
Well, it was like 50-50, shit and not shit. But we look back and look, it's come a long way, and obviously within in our industry, like the software and the introduction of AI, and it's just a different ball game. And I look back at the animation that we did 2 years ago. Wow, that's just. Oof.
So how did it go then from that to becoming what it is now?
But the idea.
Yeah.
Oh, well, look, I just came back and I just wrote the show.
Okay.
I just wrote all the characters. So, as I said, I had the blueprint for Sandy Birdie. So I just picked up Sandy Birdie, dumped in the bin, and put Snick and Willow straight in the same spot.
Okay.
So I just
Swap the sport.
I just adapted the characters due to the different sport and the target market.
Well, I think we'll dig a little deeper into Snick and Willow, and we'll also go a little bit later into the other production, which is a little bit further back in terms of the development and evolution, which is Peggy and Morry, which is all about a magpie and a staffy, a dog.
And it features lots of stand-up comedians voicing the animation.
Absolutely.
And features you.
It does.
Is my understanding.
Your turn to
is that right? Is that true?
grandstand.
Well,
Is that the reason he's here? Fuck, there's some nepotism going on.
There
here,
is
isn't there?
nepotism.
It's a thing in this industry. You scratch each other's backs, right?
That's right.
What news?
Yeah, but for now, yes, I'm blushing. Let's go to the news.
Okay, here's the news on This Week in Comedy. Vic Screen and the Melbourne International Comedy Festival have launched Originate Comedy, a 3-stage development program for Victorian comedy writers and stand-ups creating narrative television projects. That's good.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Oh, hopefully it's not.
Have you done any work with Vic Screen at all?
Funny, in 2004, I got my first grant from Film Victoria, which is now Vic Screen.
Oh, is that how it works? Yeah.
4 projects will be developed from early concepts into performance-ready half-hour pilot scripts. Up to 2 projects will receive stage readings at the 2027 Melbourne International Comedy Festival. Applications open on the 10th of August and close on the 10th of September. That's good, isn't it? We should come up with something.
Well, that's only, what day is it today? It's the 5th.
So 5 days.
5 days. This will come out on Friday on the 7th and then opens on the 10th, you said?
Yes, applications open on the 10th of August and they close.
Well, I'm writing an out of comedy called The Factory.
Okay.
That could help. That could work.
Oh, we should talk.
We should talk.
Now, I don't know how to say this. Jiaoing Summers, you're part Chinese.
I grew up in Glen Waverley, if that's what you mean. But Zhao Ying.
Zhao Ying, is that how I say it? I shouldn't do the voice.
I do speak Mandarin, and the pronunciation is Zhao Ying, but I'm not sure the tones because I can't see that.
Zhao Ying Summers is the mix there. But Zhao Ying Summers announces Australian and New Zealand tour. He's Chinese-born, US-based comedian. Zhao Ying Summers will bring, her, not him, her new show, Lucky Pony, to Australia and New Zealand in September and October. Have you seen it?
I haven't, but just on how you didn't know it was her, I knew immediately it was a woman.
Why?
It's kind of like if you're not from Australia and someone says, this is Bruce, we all know that Bruce is a guy's name.
Yeah.
Same with Chinese names. There are some like Xiao Mei and Zhao Ying. They've got an effeminate type of pronunciation. It's a weird one, but
you'd have to have lived there for a bit.
A little bit, yeah. So
Zhao
Ying,
14 years.
14 years would be the prerequisite. But what is she doing? Sorry.
So she's doing she's bringing her show, and it's called Lucky Ponies, coming to Australia and New Zealand in September and October. The dates: Melbourne on the 27th September, Brisbane 29th September, Sydney on the 1st of October, and Adelaide on the 2nd of October. I don't have dates for New Zealand because we don't care about New Zealand.
New Zealand, that's where they made Lord of the Rings.
So after she leaves Adelaide on the 2nd of October, she'll go to New Zealand and then do whatever you want. Who cares?
No cares.
You know?
There we go. Well, here's an interesting fact. In China, I did my first stand-up comedy set in China, in
Did
Shanghai, of all places. Yeah.
How did it go?
I think it went well. Someone came up to me.
We're now doing podcasts.
Yeah, well,
yeah, must have done
I
well.
quickly moved home to Australia after that episode. But
What was the feel? What was your opening?
Oh, I
Give
was
us your opening line. What did you say?
terrified. Oh, I
Did you do it in English?
Oh, no, totally in English. Yeah, that's the beauty of stand-up comedy. It doesn't matter where you go. I've even been to Germany and watched stand-up comedy in English in Germany.
Yeah.
Stand-up comedy is a lot like having a guitar on your back. You can go into any sort of environment, whether it's in Brazil or Asia or probably Africa. I think there's plenty of comedians in Africa, Kenya, Uganda, who you can get up and perform in English.
Stand-up
Comedy. Right. And it's kind of like having that guitar where it's a skill set that you can carry with you, but you don't have to carry and look like a wanker.
Not at wakes and funerals.
Sorry, wakes at funerals, no.
Yeah.
And I suppose too, because English being that sort of universal language, is that it's totally okay to have English on your back instead of a guitar.
But don't you think that comedy's funnier in an accent?
Well, look,
like if you stood up and did Jamoan's set, would it be as funny?
Oh, yeah, not at all.
No.
Well, Jim Owen listens to this, so I'm going to say good on Jim Owen.
He's so funny.
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
But to some degree that is true. I mean, India's naturally a funny sounding accent, but you're not allowed to do that anymore. When I was doing stand-up comedy, you didn't do any? What did you do? Chinese material? Did you talk about being an Aussie, a fish out of water stuff? Is that what you did?
Well, I've written a lot of jokes since then. One of them is I actually, when I was in China, I got one of those Chinese tattoos. Yeah, it says Glenn Waverley. I mean, I kind of already gave that joke away earlier, but that's based on a joke that I wrote. And I don't think it's racist because there are a lot of people who are from Asia, in particularly China, living in Glen Waverley. In fact, my old house, we sold it to a Nanjing
was
family.
pulled down by a Chinese.
No. Well, no, they live there. But
when I lived in Japan, I got a job as a radio disc jockey on completely in English.
Yes.
As in Japan at that time, they had cable radio, which I'd never even heard of. It was like cable television, but cable radio. So, and it would be piped into all the stores. So you'd go into a jeans shop or to buy something, and there'd just be radio station playing. But they wanted gaijin, for English speaking people to do the radio. So I had a show called Stig the Madman. Atamaga Kashi, Stig this. And I would just, I'd play music and I'd just talk shit, really. And in a very
changed.
but in a very animated sort of way. And they loved my energy. And so, I was Stig the Madman.
I'm getting Good Morning Vietnam vibes.
A little bit.
Yeah, were you like that guy?
Yeah.
Did you do accents and characters?
I probably did.
Yeah.
Probably. And then I'd take, I'd get people to call in.
Yeah.
And I didn't speak a word of Japanese, so people would call in, speak Japanese, and I'd say yes, and just try and chat with them. I'd say hi all the time, and then I'd play a bit of YouTube.
Marriages. Yeah.
God, I wish I was a boomer. You could be so racist back then.
Oh, those,
you can still be racist, just
with
the right company.
Auntie Donna's production company begins its very first feature film. Here's part of the news, guys. Haven't You Done Well Productions will shoot its first feature film, Crime Casters, in and around Melbourne, coming this month in August. The comedy thriller follows a journalist attempting to make a true crime podcast in a small country town who witnesses a police officer disposing of a body. Already so Auntie Donna, right?
Yes.
Are you an Auntie Donna fan?
Oh, I'm a big fan. Get out of the kiln.
Thanks, sir.
Have you seen that
Yes,
skit?
I have. No. I have. Yeah.
The beauty of this podcast, Ken, is that there will be a sound effect about now
Get out of the kiln!
that you can't hear, but I put it in post-production.
Yes.
I know it's a bit of that.
And will it be a grab from Get Out of the Kiln?
It'll absolutely be that.
Yeah, no, it's great sketch. And Pud.
Oh, Pud's good.
Is it true?
Pud's good.
After that came out, that sketch, there was all this controversy around the fact that they'd stolen the sketch from somewhere else, from an English comedic team, but then there was all this uproar about how the fact Auntie Donna were not doing original material, and there was a bad look on them. But I think it might have been them just doing some bizarre publicity, because beyond that they kept playing it, and I think it got a lot of traction because there was all this talk about how it wasn't really, they'd stolen the whole script, and which it must have been, because if you listen to the Pud sketch, I don't know how you could write that and steal it. It's really about the way they perform it more than anything else. So maybe you could find out.
They are amazing. They are totally slapstick, and then they'll do a serious kind of drama moment.
Yes, they will.
Where Mark falls over, and it becomes this conversation about
should we put Dad into a home?
Yes, it's
great
like
sketch.
It's such a good way.
But, well, it is dark, but it is still funny. It's good. I think it's because, and then they suddenly change clothes and they become I know they're great. Love it.
Oh, they're
Max Miller is the director. I'm just looking up to see who's going to direct the film. Is directed by Max Miller, written by Scott Limbrick, and supported by Screen Australia and Vic Screen.
I love the fact that you don't sound like you're reading.
I do.
Massively. So well done, Lily. This is a shout out to Lily. Get well soon.
Oh, does she do it without sounding like
she's very natural. As I can already hear the typewriters of all the people complaining.
Do you have lots of people?
Another sound effect going in?
Okay, I'll try and do this one to make it sound like I'm not reading. Apparently, guys, there's an Australian comedy drama. I think it was He Had It Coming. Is that it? That was sold to the BBC. Do you know about that?
No.
The BBC, apparently the BBC acquired the 8-part Australian comedy murder mystery He Had It Coming, which originally premiered on Stan. It's still Stan, like the network Stan.
Yeah, not the guy that lives down the road.
No, that's different.
So another case, and this brings it back to animation, another case of the Bluey's Blues.
Yes.
Where Bluey, of course, the very famous animation was partly supported financially by the BBC, but in the terms they gave away, I believe, all of international rights as well as merchandise as well.
Yeah.
So is this story that you're describing, Stig, also another Bluey's Blue problem?
Oh, well, the series stars Lydia West, Natasha Lou Bordizzo, Cody Simpson, and Liv Hewison, and was created by Gretel Veller and Craig Anderson. That's really all I know about it. It begins on the ABC on August the 8th and BBC 3 on August the 15th.
But you're saying it started as Australian?
Yes. It was an Australian comedy murder mystery. He Had It Coming, which I'd never heard of. But Bluey was big here, and then we just gave away everything to the BBC.
I think the reality is, and Ken, step in if you think so, is that we in Australia, and in fact off mic we were talking about this earlier, we in Australia do not put enough support behind Australian artists, whether they're performers or producers, creatives, directors.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think that some great stories have come out of this country, just no doubt.
Yeah.
No bigger than Peggy and Molly.
Well, let's dig deep.
Done.
There's an opportunity. So Peggy and Molly, not to be confused with Snick and Willow, Peggy and Molly are animals.
Yep.
And one is a magpie,
Correct.
pies,
Yep.
and one is a staffy.
English
dog.
staffy, yep.
Yep. And they're best friends, but it's based on a true story.
It is, yeah. So Juliet and Reese were the owners of Peggy, and they were just walking through the park and they found a little chick lying on the ground, and they stood around waiting for the parents to come back and never came back.
Yep.
So yeah, they took the bird home.
Yep.
And Peggy was actually lactating at the time because she was pregnant with Ruby.
Yeah.
And rather than and then dog suckled on the teat of the Saffy.
Oh my God.
So
The magpie.
the magpie.
That's, by the way, that's not how eggs work.
No. No, exactly. So, but yeah, it ended up just learning to bark and thinking it was a dog and played with dog toys and they amassed 2.5 million followers around the world and it's crazy since we've taken the project on. It's nuts how important they are to people. There's people going through cancer and horrible times and they text me and say, Peggy Molly just keeps us going.
Yeah. The original story.
The original story.
And is that how you heard the original story and thought, wow, this would make a great animation?
I was sitting on the couch watching a movie, having a glass of wine. A guy rang me from Gold Coast.
Yep.
Or Noosa and said, have you seen this Peggy Molly thing? I said, no, got no idea. Anyway, so I started, stalking it. And,
yeah.
and then I went, holy crap, this is such a good story.
But I'm always fascinated about what it is that you go, because there's a billion stories out there that you can hear, and it takes years and effort and time and money to turn something like that into a story. And at some point, you have to commit to it. At what point do you go, this is the thing I'm going to pour my life into for the next, whatever, 5-10 years? At what point?
It was pretty. It was.
Do you just know?
It was
or-
pretty simple because it had such a great following,
Yeah.
which is great for us. So it was already a good brand.
Yeah.
Although I don't think they knew what they had at the time in regards to the IP. But it was a great brand, had great support, great Aussie story. Magpies are, great Aussie birds, apart from the team. So I just kind of thought it was a no-brainer.
Yeah, right. All the right boxes. But it's funny you start there with going, okay, they've already got a great following. That's important, right?
It is. Well, you need the support because, as you said before, like in this country, we don't really support any new ideas.
No.
We've been trying to get new ideas up for 10 years and we've gone through street ball, footsies, all these different IPs. Street ball has a really good, strong backing. But then you're kind of thinking it's, you've got to build your audience. You got to find the story, build your audience, build the characters, get your audience to relate with the characters. That was already done. So I kind of thought, well, this is such, it's a ready-made show, just waiting to go.
Yeah.
So then I had the core. I had Peggy and Ruby and Molly as the core, and then I just started building all characters around it, and it was just so easy to write. So we're in script writing now.
But when you say develop the characters, you mean you develop the look and the fear?
Well, it was sort of like.
And did you base them on the actual characters? Did you look at the real?
Yeah,
thing
well, the three of them are.
Yeah,
and then obviously Timmy, my investor, and my business partner, has a little cavoodle called Charlie. So obviously I put Charlie in as a character, and I lost a border collie, Matilda, a few years ago. So she's in. And I've got a new border collie called Toby, who she's in, and she suffers from separation anxiety. So that comes out in the scripts.
Yeah, okay, great.
So all the personalities of these animals come out in the scripts, and it was actually a bit asked about because I really wanted to work with Jamon. So I said, okay, the only way I'm going to work with Jamon is the Riding Irish Wolfhound.
Yeah, great.
Right?
Why not?
Yeah, exactly. And I loved, I can't say that we're working with Ross because we haven't signed him, but look, we're in discussion.
That's Ross Noble?
Ross Noble.
Yeah,
we are in discussion with Ross.
Great.
With an English, obviously English sheepdog.
Yep. He would be fantastic, except the script will be nothing, the finished product will be nothing like the written script, you can guarantee it.
No, I've actually written 3 or 4 scripts now I've sent out to a couple of the actors. So I really want them to embrace their characters. I want to bring their personality. We've got obviously Jim Jeffries is one of the horses. I've got Ben Price. You know Ben Price?
Yep.
So I've got Ben Price
impersonator.
as the impersonator. Yeah, I've known Ben for a long time, and so I've asked Ben to be himself in a character.
Yeah.
So every time there's a new episode, he'll be Arnie, or he'll be or he'll be Donald Trump.
Well, that's handy, isn't it? It's versatile. So
I just said that I don't want you to be a voice. I want you to be you. So it's just a little bit of adult.
And what about Morry? Now, tell us about
Morry, actually, I just looked at him and just wrote a pompous rooster.
The big cock.
Well, my mum loved I had the rooster sort of like on the peripheral, just thinking about what to do. Yeah. And then I met Morry a few times. I went, I'm going to get Morry.
Have you got the voice? Is it just your voice, or have you got a voice? Can we hear the voice?
Well, it's
What's
Lord Nelson.
His name's Lord Nelson, and he's a self-appointed mayor of Mrs. Munro's farm.
Let's have a little bit of this, everyone. Here we go.
We haven't auditioned you yet.
This could be the live
this was
on
scratching
air
each other's
audition.
backs. This could actually a press release might go out in about 10
bring
minutes.
down the whole thing. Well, it's funny because I call myself the mayor of South Melbourne, so
you do
maybe
that.
that's coming across in this character. It's like.
Well, he's self-appointed.
So, yes, I didn't get elected as Lord.
And everyone just takes the complete piss out of him. We've got 2 mice, the 2 field mice that are the umbilical brothers.
Okay.
And they want to be rappers.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, and they just take the absolute crap out of.
And Nikki Osborne, she's in it as well.
Yeah, Nikki's in.
Does she interview Albo in the show? Does Albo pat her?
That didn't go well. Well, it actually went well for Nikki. It just didn't go well for Albo.
No.
But Yeah, but Nikki's actually one of our. She's the leader of our strays, which is the 3 cats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
'Cause every great story needs 3 alley cats, right?
Fantastic. Bev Killick's in there. Is Peter Hellier confirmed?
Yeah, Peter Hellier's in. He's Phil, one of the other alley cats. He's controlled by Nikki Osborne.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Alice Fraser. She's one of the smartest people in comedy.
Toby.
Toby. There we go.
She's the one. So she's going to be playing my dog who has separation anxiety.
Okay.
And just all types of anxiety. Yeah, so it's fun anxiety. It's not like, no meds are needed, but it's just to my dog, it's just like, it wants to do this, but then looks over at you and goes, what are you doing?
What, you don't give your dog meds for that?
No, that's fun.
I know.
Well, it's great riding. Yeah, So my dog's addicted to water and also has separation anxiety. So it's just like in the riding she's always torn about water parks and then being left behind, and so that comes across.
So I love that. I mean, people always say good writing comes from bringing true life stuff to life.
It's observation, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, Seinfeld's done it for 25 years.
True enough, but people don't necessarily think to do it of their animals or their pets. So well done, you. That's
yeah. And then with Toby, I mean, Toby's definitely she's a beautiful dog. She's just a little odd,
yeah.
So and then we got Matilda, who Jane Hall's playing.
Jane Hall. Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
what
Oh, we
a
forgot to mention that.
star-studded cast.
I say that it's the best Australian cast ever assembled for children's television.
Certainly the best list of comedic actors.
Well, I was listening to your podcast on the way in, and you were talking about
Tony Rogers.
Tony, and Tony was saying comedians are great because they're used to being disciplined in scripts, but they're also great at
I heard
ad-libbing.
that too. Yeah.
So if I can get that sort of ad-libbing and that natural writing into the show, because they might look at my script and go, look, that's not me.
Yep.
So I'll write me. And it's only going to improve the script.
It does,
Yeah.
but some people don't like that. I mean, I mentioned before about Little Elvis, but when I think back to that, we absolutely had the license to make it your own, and of course, it makes it better.
I want this to be just such an Australian product that and I've got Lawrence Mooney on board as well, and I just said to Lawrence, just be you, but just don't be all of you. So I've seen some of his stuff and went, don't do that. Yeah, don't do that.
I love him. I think he's so
great.
risque, and he's great.
He is. And look, he's on he's in the purple patch at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
So, we had
He's on the front bar all the time, and
we had Jack Levi on our podcast yesterday. We're doing an animated podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And we had Jack on there yesterday. So, and he's doing some with Mooney.
Just for the audience, Elliot Goblet.
Yeah,
Elliot Goblet.
The phrase, the term Elliot Goblet and animation in the same sentence is a weird thing in itself. He's the most unanimated character in stand-up.
He is, yeah. But so I might we'll write him in there somewhere.
Yeah,
along the
you'll find
line.
it because it's perfect.
I've just got people coming out of the woodwork saying, how can I get involved?
Yeah, everybody wants to be involved.
Well, about $100,000, I think would do it.
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
Unfortunately, it costs me money. So.
But you're not going to get away with it. Let's hear the mayor.
My God.
Is it just you? I mean, seriously, what is it?
Lord Nelson. Well, this is my idea. It's slightly British. My mum.
100% British.
Yeah, 100% British. Yeah. So, good God, are you bringing your dirty clobbers into this barn? I've just cleaned. Don't you understand? I can only see through one eye, and you're standing in the other spot.
That's excellent.
Is that all right?
It's pretty good, isn't it?
Job done.
Yeah, no, job done. Absolutely. That's
And cut.
and scene. Comedian Jimmy Cricket dies at the age of 80. Do you know who Jimmy Cricket is?
Not Jiminy Cricket.
No, Jimmy Cricket is a Northern Irishman comedian, Jimmy Cricket. He died at the age of 80 following a short illness, which is always better than having...
That normally gets him in the end. The illness.
Yeah, the illness. If it's short, long, doesn't matter. Well, usually long's not good.
Well, death normally gets him at the end.
He was born James Mulgrew, and he became widely known through his ITV series And There's More. There he is there. He's a big, round,
So I'm
jolly
just showing
face.
the image. Yeah, kind of a rounded, jolly fellow, one would say.
Yeah.
What's he famous for?
Jimmy Cricket team and appearances on the Royal Variety Performance. So he's a stand-up comedian. He was,
Born 17th of October 1945. So
Not quite a boomer.
yeah,
I get called boomer all the time.
You just love all your generation stuff, don't you? What are you? We have to find out now, Ken.
Well, I'm a 68.
So
So
you're a boomer.
yeah.
So
Are
Is
you
he a boomer?
68? Oh, no, you might be. Oh,
No, I'm outside that.
You're just
I
on
get
the
called
cusp.
boomer all the time. I think, no, I don't think that's right.
Yeah, I think he's right on the cusp.
Yeah. What's next?
Yeah, you're like him. You're an X.
An
eh?
X. You'd be on an X.
You're
Yeah.
Generation X. I'm a boomer.
You're a boomer.
It went from boomer to X. What happened there?
I think X is because they didn't want to think about it. Like it's also called the forgotten generation as well because the parents would literally start topping up their sherry glasses and then say to the kids, when the light turns on, come on, the lights on the streets turn on, come on home.
100%.
And that was how you parented.
I was never home.
Yeah.
I was just out in the streets, like, stealing hubcaps and stuff. Like that's, or debadging cars or, like, that's what we did.
God.
Well, no break-ins. It was just harmless stealing.
Just harmless.
This is shocking behaviour. No wonder the boomers are such the best generation. I mean, we would never do things like that.
Oh, it's funny how we talk about Sudanese gangs, but there was where did you grow up? In Hawthorne or somewhere, did you?
I don't know. I've never privileged like that. I was Bandura.
Oh, Bandura.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very country. It would have been
It was
country
country
at the time. Yeah.
But where I live now is country. So.
Kumalai Nanj. How do I say this?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know, Lily, how to say this, but I think Indigenous director. He's going to direct a new horror comedy called How. Kumail Nanjiani.
Nanjiani, yeah, I think so.
Kumail Nanjiani. It's going to be his first feature directorial debut with horror comedy. How, which has been acquired by Orion Pictures. Nanjiani will also star as a troubled actor who announces during a live television interview. I love this as a premise. So he announces during a live television interview that he is a werewolf and will transform within the hour. So, like live on air.
Oh, wow.
He announces that that's what he is, and so it's a good idea, isn't it? For a good premise for
An
a
Australian
horror
werewolf in the outback.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. That was a good move. The London version.
Anyway, that's all the. What is that part, Lily? What's that?
Oh, there's one more. The graphic.
You do it.
Yeah.
No, you do it because let's see if you can do it without sounding like you're reading it.
In the voice of Lord Nelson.
Yes, even better. Come on, do it in the voice of Lord.
All
Nelson.
right, well, I will. Thank you very much, Stig, for that poor performance. I was far better than you when I was half your age. But anyway, I've got some graphics that someone has sent me. When comedians think notes are okay, and I've gone a little bit Australian there, but we'll bring it back. Now, there is a fellow over in the New World called the United States of America, and he has done some research on N equals 211. Now, my mathematics days means there's 211 people were surveyed, N. And it asked, when are notes okay in a stand-up comedy set? And here's some numbers. Well, let me throw it to you, gentlemen. At a percentage of 100%, what percent said notes are fine at open mics but not paid shows?
I'm
Sounds
going
like
to
we're
say.
ripping off Andy Lee's 100 here.
I'm going to say 95% of people would think that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
No
this is for tryouts. I think.
Oh, for tryouts.
Yeah, not for proper paid gigs, but for tryouts. I reckon a large percentage of people go yes, because I think people see stand-up comedy as being very daunting, and part of that is remembering what you're going to say.
I would
And
say
people,
72%.
Well, I'm going to bring it back to Morry here because it's going to be awkward, me jumping around. 56%. This was an American audience, though.
Okay.
So 56% of the 211 people surveyed said, yeah, you can use notes, but not with paid. Now, what about this one? Notes are always okay. So we're talking stand-up comedy performances on TV, paid gigs at a corporate event, and open mics at the local pub. What percent of Americans said notes are always okay?
always okay. So regardless of the format that it's absolutely okay to have a note. Oh, sure, no one's going to think that if the 52% thing
Oh,
is
there's
right.
a number here, and it's double digits.
Really? Okay. Well, I'll go
11.
I'll go 10.
15%.
You're closest to the pin. Well done. Ken.
Yeah. Now, this data of those 211 people were comedians on Instagram, apparently. So they're saying, yeah, I'm going to perform at Saturday Night Live or do a monologue on Rove Live, and I'm going to bring notes with me?
No, can't do that.
Very, very
I thought you
average.
meant that the first one was only for tryout nights, which I do think that's okay.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there.
How many times have you seen a try or even a stand-up comedian with notes on their arms? Or they do that stuff where they'll go like that and they'll
well, what
read
about
something
the
on
last
their
one?
palm.
The last one is you should never use notes when you do a tryout or an open mic.
Yeah, no.
What percentage? There's a number.
Are you specifically talking about tryouts and open mics?
No. You should never use notes on stage full time.
Full time.
At all. Whether it's an open mic, whether it's
Or
your
tryout or
father's
or
wake,
anything.
whether it's your
Nah.
wedding best man speech.
Well, I would have thought a small percentage are going to be that harsh, to be honest. I'll go 7%.
Yeah, I was going to go bad. I was going to go 7.
Yep, 5%. So
Oh,
5%. Never
Yeah, I
use
was going
notes.
to go 5.
Well, look,
Fuck, I was going to go 5.
as a producer and director of comedy, you already you win so many points by not having notes or not visibly having notes on stage. If they're somewhere hidden in your under your armpit or in the inside of your eyelids, that's fine. But
Unless you incorporate it into the performance.
well, here's my point.
Like where you run your hand over your hair and you go, just off the top of my head, and read something on your palm.
That's
Then I
right.
think that's okay.
Right, or you have the front row wearing T-shirts which have the first letter of every joke or something. My point is, why do you do open mic in the first place? It's to get better. So if you're not pushing yourself to get better, or the other question is you're doing it to get discovered. So if you're having notes, you're not getting better, and if you're having notes, you're not going to get discovered.
But you're also doing open mic to try out new material. So you don't want to get up there and go, I really want to do that new joke that I've got written about animation, and you get up there and completely forget it. So you look at your notes and go, fuck,
But that's
right.
what hairbrushes were for, and mirrors. You stand in front of the mirror with your hairbrush and you do the gig and you bloody get it right 50 times in front of the mirror, and then you get up on stage at Sellers or Le Joke.
I think it's a different scenario looking yourself in the mirror than looking at 50 people staring at you.
Sure it is. Absolutely.
I think so too. I don't know. I'm a bit forgiving about having notes when you're a tryout, and sometimes people kind of make it fun and incorporate it in, and I think that's okay.
See, this is the boomer in him.
Yeah.
But I also think, because you're right, Morry, it is about getting better and learning and so forth. And if you start by using notes and you start to realise, I can get better, I'm better without the notes, because ultimately it is better if it looks like it's coming off the top of your head. It's funny.
I think that's a better delivery, but
So,
he's obviously bitter from all the neglect he's suffered over his life. So.
That's right. Well, and I'll just a final shout out to the origin of this data, the 211 N equals 211, thejokebook.org, and that's an American website, and they have a newsletter that comes out. So thank you very much to thejokebook.org for providing us with that little.
And thank you very much to Lily Geddes for even thinking to put that in there. That was fascinating, and thanks, Lily. Great. Hope you get well.
Unfortunately, I put it in there, but
Poor Lily, she gets no credit.
I actually thought it was a waste of time. But anyway, I thought we've got too much time to kill here.
Yeah, that's right. Now, history.
Yeah.
Now, this I'm allowed to read, right?
you are. So now we're going to have a sound effect. So let's go back in history or do a lead in.
Well, what is the sound effect?
It's like a rewind.
Okay, now it's time for history. Dom DeLuise was born on August the 1st in 1993. You know Dom DeLuise? Fabulous actor, great comedian, American comedian and actor. Dom DeLuise was born in Brooklyn. He became a regular collaborator of Mel Brooks, appearing in films including The 12 Chairs, Silent Movie, and of course Blazing Saddles. And History of the World Part 1. He also appeared alongside Burt Reynolds in films including The Cannonball Run.
Oh, the Cannonball Run, classic.
Dom DeLuise. And he had a great look, didn't he? He had a great...
Yeah,
he
that
had
was
a-
when the old Countach came out and everyone went, that's the car I want.
Oh, Lamborghini Countach. Yeah.
Cole Elliott.
Yeah, no, I'm
you know
of that
Cole?
age. I know that people quote him all the time who are slightly older than me. He had a lot of cassette tapes and vinyls, didn't he? And your dad would play it. Do you know?
I know the name. I don't know. I can't put
He was born in England, in Kent, but he grew up in Dandenong, which is where I grew up.
Wow, and he survived.
Yes,
Yeah.
as did I. Used to go to the drags
And
on
I
a
think you
Saturday
mentioned
night
that was,
in Dandenong.
That was a second Little India, I think you said on one of your podcasts.
What did you say?
Oh, Little India, yeah. The Tarneet in the west and
yes.
Dandenong over in the east. And I grew up in Noble Park.
Did you
Keysborough, which is part
go
of
to the drags on a Saturday night? No, you were too young.
I was probably dressing up in a woman's clothing. 'Cause look, I would have been about 5, and I had a pram. I borrowed a pram
What sort
from
of
the
drags you
neighbour.
talking about here?
Oh, no, he's
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, no, different
yeah,
sort
no.
of
I
drag.
literally, this is to my mum. We did a toy swap with the neighbour, and I would have been about 4 or 5. And I said, I want the pram.
Wow, and that was the beginning of your whole cross-dressing thing.
No, it was me being a feminist, Stig Williams.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, because I love the little skirt thing.
And
you
it
got
helps
into
with collecting cans too, by the way.
That's
Remember
true.
back in the day you collecting cans?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
That was
When they used to pay and then they do again.
Yes, it's come
now,
back.
Yeah, but now you're going to spend
Col-
4.5 hours working on those big machines. So.
Cole Elliott served 12 years in the Royal Australian Navy, including aboard the HMAS Hobart during the Vietnam War. There you go. He's a vet. Elliot entered show business in 1973 and became known for his stand-up comic characters and comedy albums.
And that's where I always hear it like, oh, I grew up with my dad or my older brother listening to.
To Cole Elliott. So will you play a little bit of Cole Elliott?
I will right now play it.
I went down to the doctors and I said, I've got to lose weight. He said, what's the matter? I said, well, he said, what have you been eating? I said, oh, I had the odd sweet. He said, what, fucking lounge sweet?
Perfect.
That was amazing.
He stole that from someone. That was good. Sarah Kendall was born on the 3rd of August in 1976. Australian comedian, actor and writer. Sarah Kendall was born in Newcastle. Well, that's Newcastle.
Aussie Newcastle, not for the British Newcastle, yeah.
She won Raw Comedy. What a great thing Raw Comedy is for getting people to start in comedy. In 1998, she
Do you think
won.
you're allowed to have notes?
I don't know. I wonder if she had notes back in 1998.
Guarantee no notes. That is automatic disqualification. Two things: notes and going over 5 minutes.
Wasn't okay then. Okay now though.
She established her career in Brim. Kendall created, wrote, and starred in the comedy series Frayed and won the 11th series of Taskmaster. There you go.
Good on her.
Well done. And happy birthday to Sarah. Babe was released on August the 4th in 1995. Babe, God.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
Well, didn't that launch? That was huge for Magda Sabansky.
Oh, wasn't she amazing?
Oh, wonderful. Australian-produced comedy drama Babe opened in the United States and Canada, directed by Chris Noonan and co-written by Noonan and George Miller. The film was largely shot around Robinson in New South Wales. If anyone from Robinson is listening in, give us a call. Give us a call.
Am I getting Mad Max vibes? Is George Miller related to Mad Max?
Yes. Yes, he was.
I think so.
Well done. It received 7 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture and 1 for visual effects. And it launched. People fell in love with Babe, didn't they? And
it's pretty hard not to fall in love with a pig. I think I've done it a few times.
Yes, but that's different. We don't need to know your private life.
Me.
There's a new Hugh Jackman film out at the moment that's got a similar feel about it, where he's with the sheep thing. I think the sheep thing. I've only seen the trailer for it. But
is it Sheep Detective? No, what's it called?
It's called Tinder.
In New Zealand.
Yeah.
Getting Square premieres. Getting Square. I don't even know what that is. Getting Square. On the 29th of July 2003, Australian crime comedy Getting Square had its world premiere at the 12th Brisbane International Film Festival, directed by Jonathan Tipetsky. It starred Sam Worthington, Timothy Spall and David Wenham as Johnny Spitz-Spiteri, which is now a film on Netflix. Spit. Yeah, he took that character. He's a great character. Do you know the character?
No, I don't.
And David Wenham is just such a fabulous actor. And he plays this sort of, bogan, drug-taking, very Aussie character called Spit. A film received 14 Australian Film Institute Award nominations, with Wenham winning Best Actor. So that's where Spit started, back in Getting Square. Didn't realise that.
You're interesting. If you were a newsreader on like 5 o'clock news, you would be surprised at the news you'd be reading as well. You'd be like, oh, I didn't know that. You rewind this. You sound like you're surprised at every bit of news. You're not.
Well, it's actually a bit of trivia, isn't it?
It's just good
can't know
acting. I
everything.
wrote this, so I obviously know what I'm saying. But that's why, I think it's important to that's what makes good comedy. If you get up there and do comedy, like the same joke you've done every night for the last 12 performances, and you start to sound like, oh, I know this bit of material, just read it. You've got to make it sound like
spontaneity.
You've got to make it sound like you're reading it for the.
Peter Hitchcock goes home on the weekend more educated than he started.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee he wouldn't know all that.
Absolutely. Well, I'm teasing Stig Wems only because he's also the voice. He's also the voice and face and legs and arms of Michael from Colin Carpenter's breakout show from Comedy Company called Colin Carpenter. Look out, world, here I come. And you were Michael.
I'm going to make my mum. Without my mum.
Why have I got him with it?
Colin Carpenter? Oh
No.
Oh, Michael.
No, I was in it. I was in it. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you should. I don't know why you're casting him. He clearly can't act. He's got a role.
Well, we had about 3 different age groups and 4 different nationalities.
Yes, I was in Colin Carpenter. What a fabulous show that was.
It was.
And you were in that show. You were a left-leaning sort of
greenie,
weren't you? Yeah.
It was a great combination. Actually, it was the original cast was Julia, Michael, and Colin living in a house together. The first episode, the premise was that Colin, he got kicked out of his house by his mum.
Yeah.
Needed somewhere to live. and then goes to our house, where I live there with Julia, meets Julia, and proceeds to tell her that she doesn't want him because he's obviously a dork, and she's thinking, as if I want this person living in my house, but then accidentally sort of drops the knowledge that he's just won the lottery. And so suddenly Julia, who's desperate for a bit of money and a tenant who might have a bit of money, suddenly thinks, oh, yeah, what a great idea. Turns out he won the lottery, but he was in a franchise, what do you call it? With,
a syndicate.
Yeah, a syndicate.
He like $8
at the Ford factory. So, there was 3,000 other people in the syndicate together. So we had $86.47. There it is, Julia. I hope Kim doesn't listen to that. He'd hate me doing an impersonation of him. But,
Is it? Well,
but that was the first episode, and it just set the tone beautifully because by then, so Julia kicked him out and said, "Oh, you lied to me. You shouldn't be here. You pretended you were rich. Get out." Right, that was Julia's way. And Michael, but he'd left a gift to the house. He'd brought a gift to the house of a breadboard in the shape of a kangaroo that he'd cut out. It was terrible, ugly looking thing. But, of course, Michael thought it was gorgeous and he stood up for him and said, Julia, you let him in. He's a good guy. He might not have money like you said. And that was Michael. It set Michael up, set Julia up, and we already knew Colin. But that first episode was a great piece of writing because straight away you got the dynamic of what these three characters were through a simple little storyline. And that's you'll attest to this, Ken.
Yeah, definitely.
That is the trick to
it is.
writing. You don't have long to set these to get to know these characters quickly.
Well, look, obviously in the first episode of the Peggy Molly, I've got to set the characters extremely quickly.
Yep.
Like Peggy's obviously a mothering type, and then there's no Ruby at that time because he wasn't born, but within the first 5 seconds, that Toby's got anxiety.
Yeah, right. Yes. Yeah. See, that's right.
So,
but you have to do that in a way that is through the storytelling and not just expedition.
You don't explain it. People just understand it by
you
script.
absorb it through clever writing.
A quick question: the character Michael that you played, Stig, it was a greenie, and I heard that you didn't have a shower for 6 months to get in character.
I just didn't have a shower for 6 months.
Outside of being a character.
Yeah, had nothing to do with being. But what I did do, if you want to talk about doing the character, was that I had read. I'd been overseas actually. I'd been living in America and studying with Uta Hagen. So I was, I came back all full of how to be an actor and ready to go in and do it. And I got given this audition. I read the brief of what Michael was like, and he was a greenie and. And I thought, okay, great. So I went to the audition with a little briefcase, glasses, and in the briefcase I had a bunch of a glass jar with some used tea bags, and they sat me down. They said, "Can we get anything, Steve? You want a coffee or something?" I said, "Actually, just a glass of warm water would be good." And we proceeded just to chat. I opened my briefcase, took out my little jar of used tea bags, got one, dipped it into the hot water, did the audition, sort of doing that, just the whole thing.
Oh, that's great.
And I think they were, and the other thing that happened at that audition was because I'd been away, I didn't really know Colin. I didn't know that everyone knew the character of Colin Carpenter because it was hugely popular on the comedy company. Yes. But I didn't really know it in the way that everyone else did. So I was doing this sort of performance thing at the audition, being the character, which is what I was taught to do in New York, which they sort of were looking at, going, who is this quirky little fuck? And I was just trying to hold back laughs because Kim was so funny. Yeah. This character was just hilarious to me. And so I think straight away I was in awe of him, and he was probably thinking, who is this strain? So the dynamic just worked, it just instantly worked. What are we up to?
Paul Rubin. Do you know who he is?
No, Paul Rubens. He died.
Lily puts these facts about people who have no idea who they are. But
comedian and actor Paul Rubens died at the age of 70 after privately living with cancer for 6 years. Have you got cancer?
I don't know. I might be privately living with it.
Privately,
I think we all
like
are.
Airbnb.
I think we all are. Yeah, it's in there somewhere.
Yeah, Rubens created and performed the character Pee Wee Herman. Beginning on stage before starring in Pee Wee's Big Adventure and Pee Wee's Playhouse. Great. He just took off Pee Wee Herman, didn't he, in the States?
Yeah, remember his bicycle.
He actually looked like it reminds me of you with your tea bag and your briefcase.
Right, yes, that's right. Yeah, this sort of dweeby little Pee Wee character.
Yeah.
His death was announced publicly the following day, even though he kept it private for how many? For 6 years.
I meant to do that.
You should do that if you had cancer, wouldn't you? You wouldn't want to sing it from the rooftops.
Fantastic, Stig. Well, you've done a pretty good job.
Oh, clearly not. All you've done is criticise my performance.
To be fair, Lily is very good at being herself. and you're not as good as that.
Right. Okay.
So
I'm not sure if that's a compliment or not.
I don't think it's an insult. Normally we have I don't know if you know this, but because Lily's not here and it's really her thing, I think we just jump straight into the beer.
I've been looking at beer for like 20 minutes.
Honestly, if Lily was here, we would have drank it about 20 minutes ago. So let's talk about the beer. So
Get on the beers. That's appropriate. Just do it.
Ken, you may know, I don't know if you know this, but we have a beer sponsor every episode. And this time it is Mountain Goat. Oh, great.
Fantastic.
Oh, God, it's
And Stig has just
He's exploded.
required total mopping of the studio. So Mountain Goat is a very enjoyable beer, as it says on the beer coaster. Thank you very much to Mountain Goat, who have provided these tall boys. What are they? 500
500
mils?
millers.
500 mils.
Yeah.
Now, goat is the young person's way of saying
Greatest of all time.
greatest of all time. And I think they were probably lucky that they had the goat in there. I don't know. Did they borrow? Actually, can someone from Goat tell us whether greatest of all time preceded your beer?
Look, I'd never even thought that it had anything to do with greatest of all time.
Well, it's a
I didn't even think that.
No, I don't think so.
I reckon
No.
that's.
So I
you
do
just-
like the 500 millers. It's more efficient to getting up and down, isn't it?
Not so many
You
tricks.
get, you get more value.
But you also go to the toilet a lot more.
What
You don't
makes you
have
think
to.
that, Morry? That is.
I don't know. There's a couple of words that kind of hit the vernacular, the Australian vernacular, and I came back from overseas, like you came back from the US, and the world was slightly different. And one of them was everyone was saying, he's the goat, she's the goat. And I'm like, I was in China. We didn't use that expression. Can you read the back of that can?
Let's have a look.
I can.
I will say the can is bright. You know, you don't often see it's oranges, and I mean, if we're going to talk from a marketing point of view.
Yeah.
It really stands out. It's bright. It's got orange and yellow. It looks sort of fiery. It's not what you normally see.
It's your
a beer
IPA. So
And what does the back say?
brewed as part of New Zealand's hops brewing program, in which a select group of brewers are invited to trial new hop varieties. This IPA showcases experimental NZH-106, whatever that is, with notes of melon, tangelo, and nectarine.
Okay.
well, maybe that's why it's so fruity and bright.
It is.
Shall we try it?
Bright.
It
Bright's
is.
a good.
And it's
I
called Bract to Brewer IPA Rare Breed.
Rare Breed, and I'll tell you what it is bloody delicious.
Oh, we've already had
Have you
it.
tried it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
no.
already had a sip.
Ew,
It's
rude.
no, it's excellent. And I'm not really a sort of much of a beer drinker.
Oh, that's
I
good.
Have a beer occasionally, but I'm more of a wine drinker. But I tell you what,
I think I found my breakfast beer.
that's not a breakfast beer.
Some
Really?
IPAs are too hoppy. This is the right amount of hop. That's that fruity flavour that you get. Very fruity.
Yeah, it's
I think the word breakfast beer will Lily will be at home going, "Fucking hell, that's a great idea."
Well,
yes.
Coronas with the lemon in it, you know.
Well, I was actually in Mexico, and I was pretending to surf in Mexico, and the Coronas were cheaper than the water.
right.
So we just drank, we drank Coronas in breakfast. We brushed our teeth with
dangerous.
Corona.
On your cornflakes?
Oh, the whole works.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have water in my cornflakes. I know where you come from, but it was cheaper than the water.
Wow, cheaper than water. That's insane, isn't it?
it is. Well, was it? We
Well, I
loved it.
guess you can't get water. But no, good on Goat. And yes, I would be curious to know whether or not that has anything to do with greatest of all time or if that's just a bit of luck.
Bit of luck.
Yeah.
And a big thank you to them. They not only sent these two tall boys, these 500 mils, they also sent a slab of beer. So we will be
That's
giving them
handy.
out to our celebrities like you, Ken Cantrill, to enjoy. If you are a microbrewery or even a mainstream brewery, we will do a review of your beer if you send us the beer.
I can make that happen next week.
Oh, beauty. All right. Well, thank you very much, Ken. The Funny in the Moment is the last section of our podcast. And I don't know if you recall Funny in the Moment from previous listens. It's where I go around South Melbourne as the mayor of South
Yeah,
Melbourne.
you had
Yes.
you had
wave at people.
You made fun of the Colombians.
Make fun of Colombians. Yes.
That was very, very risky.
Oh,
and brave.
But got through, and you'd have to listen to 2 podcasts ago, I think. It was the one with Tony Rogers. I go to the bakery. I do things. Now, it's unfortunate that Lily's not here because she can't confirm what happened. But it happened. My Funny in the Moment happened last Thursday, a week ago, just over. And it happened at the Limerick Arms Hotel at the graduation of the Hard
yes.
Not Knocks Comedy School.
Yep.
And we had Dave Hughes upstairs, and we had a massive audience of 75 people and then some. And we were running out of chairs. So I'd already put out about 70 chairs, and I needed a couple of stools to bring up. And I went downstairs to the bar, and I walked up to this couple that was sitting on a long table with 3 stools on each side. And there was one stool at the end. And I walked up to them and I said, and Lily was watching me. And I said, because she was looking for stools as well. And I said, excuse me, is this stool taken? And they both said confidently, oh, no, it's free. And so I sat down on it and put my elbow on the counter, and I just started looking at them like I was part of their conversation.
Great.
And they just started laughing.
Great. Oh, wow.
No pepper spray?
No pepper spray. No, because again, it could have gone horribly wrong, right?
It could have gone south.
I did that for all of about 3 seconds, and then they laughed. I picked up the chair, and as I turned, I made eye contact with Lily, and I'm like, great. The first time I have witness of funny in the moment.
Funny in the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
So that's funny in the moment. What do you reckon? Is it funny in the moment, or you had to be there?
Oh, no, I think it's funny in the moment. That's the sort of thing I would do.
Well, that's the point of it. It's funny in the moment.
Yeah.
It's not that funny now.
Oh, dear.
I do that all the time, and I'll walk out of a restaurant and walk past the table closest to the door. As I walk past, I'll just say, "Thanks, that was great." Like the person is the waiter, and often people, and it always surprises me because you think they clearly must know that I'm being a dick, and it's just a
Yeah, we've all done it, haven't we? We've all done
But
it.
sometimes people will say to me, "I don't work here," like they're offended because they're sitting there eating. Because obviously,
I made a lady of Baker's Delight absolute day. Yeah, and she was the largest woman.
Yeah.
And I walked up and she gave me my bread rolls.
Yep.
And I was going to say thank you and lovely at the same time in front of 20 people. And I said, I love you. And she looked at me and went, she gave that look of like, thank you.
Funny in the moment. Funny in the moment.
It was it was for everybody else.
Yeah, but mind you, if somebody's giving you bread rolls and you're hungry, I think I would say I love you as well. Thank you. I love you.
Yeah, it didn't quite come out well. No.
Oh, and you made her smile.
She did.
She was delighted.
Yes.
She was
Baker's
delighted.
Boom, boom.
Fantastic.
Well, Ken, thank you. This has been an amazing experience to learn about your animation. Of course, we talked about Snick and Willow, which is off the ground. It's running. There's a couple of episodes coming out shortly.
Yes, yep. By the end of the year, there'll be 2. Yep.
Fantastic. For those that want to see Peggy and Molly off the ground, they can reach out to you. Peggy, how do they reach out to Ken Cantrill?
Well, it's peggymolly.tv, which is our website, and we've got a launch on the 18th of September on the Gold Coast.
Yep.
And obviously you're invited to that.
Yes.
Being one of the main cast members. So we got that. We got about 300 or 400 people going to that, and then we got the Gold Coast Council. Pretty much.
Is the mayor a major part?
Shut up, Stig.
Surely he's just
Tom Tate in the Gold Coast. He is. Oh, he's not. Look,
Is he a major role?
I don't think so.
Just blow the smoke up my ass.
Yeah, there's a lot of
it.
incidental characters that we can kill off.
Okay, good. Kill him off. No, I'm joking. It sounds great. It does. It really sounds good. And the whole project, actually, with what you were outlining about the cast and the story, I think it sounds like a fabulous idea. I have no doubt that it'll be a success.
I'm
Great.
hoping it
Well
is.
done.
Yeah, we got one cast member to cast, which is the main one. So I'm chasing some big names for that.
Oh,
Yes.
look our world. Here I come.
I'm going to make my mark with that
She's
one.
a female.
Oh, okay.
I can do that.
It wasn't 5 minutes ago, but it is now.
Well, fantastic, Ken. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Thanks
You've
for being
been on.
It's great.
I don't think so.
This week in
Comedy!
Rock and roll.
How would you cook that? Be more entertaining. I'm glad you like that. It's a little bit of weed.